Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbettable. I'm Mondo here with Holmes and Gary. We're finally back. I've been sick, literally haven't left my house all week, dying of like the flu or something like that. The boys held down the reins for the Wednesday show. I don't know if it ever got posted. Gary was supposed to be on editing duty, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really part of the process this time. So did we get it up?
Bro, I literally told you this morning. Don't even try me with the bullshit.
So after all the logins I gave you, it didn't matter.
Bro, I don't know how to edit.
Damn.
Unreal.
My
All right. Well,
internet's
Gary will send that to me. I'll edit it and then I'll put it out. It'll be a special bonus episode that I'll put live. But we're going to need to teach this man how to edit because if I'm out sick again, someone's got to be able to do this shit. So we'll figure that out. But boys, how we doing today? What's going on?
Doing well, dude. Doing well. Yeah, gotta get that episode posted from Wednesday. That was a good futures episode. Me and Gary ran through a lot of good stuff. Um, Pretty much through like all the different kind of sports. We even hit on MLB, which literally just ended. But excited for today's show. We're gonna have some good college football picks. We're gonna run through the NFL slate, maybe some bonus picks at the end of the night. So let's get to it.
Yeah, before we do that, I looked at the futures picks that we had. Holmes, how'd you let him get away with just picking all the favorites?
You know, I
What's
mean,
happened there?
I don't
Didn't
know.
call him
He's
out.
the only one right now that is not considered a fate. I mean, he had the Nuggets to win, okay. Golden Knights to win, okay. Michigan to win, okay. Eagles to win, okay. That's some pretty heavy chalk.
Bro,
I did,
Michigan.
yeah. I did say that I would also go with the Nuggets to win in the NBA because I was about to chalk in the NBA. I don't know what the hell is going to happen, but the Nuggets just look too good. I mean, the only flyers he threw out there, he put the Rays obviously as the champion of the MLB next year. I mean, that's a homer pick, and I love it because I'm probably gonna do the same damn thing. And then the Bucks to win the division. I mean, bro, I'm totally with him there. Like, honestly, our division is just so bad. As bad as we've looked, God, the teams in our division have looked way worse. So I'm still gonna be riding the Bucks with Gary to just win the division, dude. I don't need them to win a playoff game. I know it's not gonna happen. We're gonna get our shit rocked in the playoffs, but to win the division, very great value for sure.
Yeah,
Everything else, that's just him. That's on him.
I saw it and I was like a future pick, like in my eyes, that's like a you're somewhat of a long shot to hit that you want to bet early in the season. And then I just saw chalk, chalk, chalk. I'm like, bro, what is going on
Yeah, that's all
today?
he did.
Gary, you got a comment?
No, you're just being a fucking pussy right now, but whatever.
No, we run a betting podcast where we like try and maximize the dollars.
Yeah.
Chalk
So I
doesn't do
chose the
that.
bets that are least likely to lose.
That's lame, bro. That's lame. Whatever. Biggest news story of the day, kind of last night too. Your boy tweeted out a banger tweet in relation to Thursday night football. I sent it over to you guys early in the night. Um, it kind of exploded a little bit for someone with 200 followers. I ended up having 119,000 views, 460 likes, 36 retweets, a bunch of bookmarks, and some douchebags commenting on it.
Nice.
But the whole thing was about one, Charissa Thompson making up sideline reports, which in and of itself is a hilarious meme format. And two, Joe Burrow goes down with a very serious season ending injury. And it just one, it ruined my dynasty season having Joe Burrow as my QB. It's tough, but it also hurts the Bengals Super Bowl odds big time, which was one of my futures picks. And then on the other side, you have Mark Andrews also go down with the season ending injury. So that's two big name players that are now just out for the year with some bullshit injuries, especially Mark Andrews. But kind of want to get your guys' takes on Thursday night football. What went down? What were your thoughts? So Holmes, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, dude. I think this game would have been a lot better had it not really been marred by injuries. Mark Andrews goes down on the first drive. You just knew it looked bad the way his ankle got rolled up on when he got tackled. You knew he was going to be in trouble there. If it wasn't going to be season ending and it was going to be pretty serious, he was still going to miss, I think, a bunch of time.
Mhm.
So that was unfortunate to see because that automatically takes away one of Lamar's biggest targets throughout the game. And then, yeah, in the second quarter, Joe Burrow ends up tearing something in his wrist, tearing a ligament in his wrist.
Yeah.
Can't even throw the ball, can barely grip the ball. Yeah, dude, that just definitely made it not a lot of fun to watch at that point. Because, I mean, I didn't really sign up to watch Lamar Jackson face off against Jake Browning in the second half. And I think everybody saw it coming. Second half, Ravens started to run away with it, score a bunch of touchdowns. I mean, that's all you can really say. It's unfortunate that the injuries kind of took away from what we thought was going to be probably one of the best Thursday night games that we could have had this
Mhm.
season.
Yeah. Gary?
I was playing Call of Duty, so I got the notifications on my phone. Um, but honestly, I think it's kind of funny because there was a kid in our fraternity that texted one Bengals fan, Jackson Bond, who is a diehard Bengals fan. It said, Jackson Bond, unfortunately, Joe Burrow will once again tear his ACL this year. It will happen during training camp. Plan to try out for the Bengals QB position. They believe you have his same shiesty. Although he didn't tear his ACL, he is gone. And
Mhm.
Jackson Bond was very upset with that. And I texted him to make fun of him, and he sent me the crying emoji. So
Yeah, no, it was a very frustrating night just for everyone that likes watching football. We thought this was going to be an insane game to watch. Two prolific offenses, obviously a good defense with the Ravens, as we've come to know. But I sent out three bets last night: two NFL, one NBA. Obviously, the NBA, Jimmy Butler's not an assist guy, so that was an easy cash. But my two NFL bets, if they both stay healthy the whole game, like Lamar left for 10 minutes with I think an ankle injury. Um, that takes away at least two completions, and I had over 17 and a half, and he finished with 16. And then Joe Burrow was on pace to have a 300-yard day before he went down with his wrist injury. So two bets that, it continues to be my focal point of the season. I just get marred by shitty stuff that happens every single time. But you live and you learn. There's not much you can do there. Unfortunately, that's the reality of betting. Your losses are losses no matter what. But overall, it was a good Thursday night football game compared to what we usually see on the Prime Video. It was one of Al Michaels' best games so far that I've watched him commentate. He
Hmm.
seemed like he's been sleeping a lot, up in the box. But this is that was more entertaining than I give him credit for usually. But yeah, with that, Holmes, we'll let you kind of take it away, run through the biggest matchups, and then we'll go through all of our cards and we'll hit NFL preview for the rest of the slate.
All right, for sure. Let's get into college football. Uh, Before we do that, I was also not also. I was 1-1 last night for Thursday night football. We're able to get Gus Edwards to get into the end zone. He scored twice, plus 115 for an anytime touchdown. That was very nice last night. But Tyler Boyd over 45 and a half receiving yards. Just kind of got screwed there, I think, by the Burrow injury. I did not really think that was going to come anywhere close to hitting as soon as Jake Browning took over. So what can you do? Okay, college football. Let's get into it a little bit. I do not have a big slate at all this weekend. I think I narrowed it down to 6. I might have 2 more picks by the time noon rolls around tomorrow. But this is not really a week of a lot of big, intense matchups. A lot of it, honestly, is really good ranked teams playing
Mhm.
kind of really shitty teams right before their rivalry week. So it's going to be a weird card, I think. I think it was a little bit difficult to find the nice type of value that you could for this weekend. But some of the biggest games I think we can get into noon, Michigan and Maryland. Number 3, Michigan goes to Maryland. I mean, I really think Michigan's just going to keep rolling at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
Maryland could probably keep it close here in the first half, but I don't really see anything that Maryland can do to slow down what Michigan's doing right now. I mean, the JJ McCarthy threw the ball 8 times last week and they rolled Penn State. So I really don't see anything slowing them down. Louisville, Miami, I'm actually going to touch on that game later because I have a play in that game. I think that is a very trappy type of spot. At 2:30, number 22, Utah goes to number 17, Arizona. This is a pretty big Pac-12 matchup. We've talked about Arizona. They have had such a nice year this year after rebuilding for years. This is going to be a really, really interesting matchup because Utah, coming off of that loss to Washington last week, still on the road going to Arizona. I mean, this is really a tough spot for them. It sucks for them not having Cam Rising all year, but their defense is going to have to step up and show out on the road, which is going to be very, very tough for them. Georgia, number 1, goes to number 18, Tennessee at 3:30. The SEC matchup of the week at 3:30. I think Georgia's going to roll here too, man. I have a play in this game, but it's not necessarily a side. I mean, I think Georgia is just going to keep putting it on their opponents. I really do not believe in Tennessee. I've said that in multiple podcasts before. Joe Milton is not all that he's cracked up to be, and I think Georgia can actually gash the Tennessee defense and maybe embarrass them a little bit in Neyland Stadium. And really, other than that, a couple later games that are looking nice. Number 21, Kansas State goes to number 25, Kansas. 7:00. I think I have a play on this game as well because, again, this is another trappy spot that I think is a little weird. I don't really understand it, but we'll see. And then number 5, Washington goes to number 11, Oregon State. This is probably the matchup of the week. Everybody's talking about this game. Oregon State at home, they have been so dominant, and Washington has been just coming really close to losing the past few weeks, but have stayed unbeaten at 10-0. So this is going to be a really, really great test for them. If they overcome Oregon State on the road, I think they have to be talked about as a legit top 4 team.
I like it. Yeah, I feel like this is just such a tough slate all the way around. I'm not really sold on my card. I have a couple bets put together that I placed already, but I don't know, dude. This just feels like such a tough slate this weekend. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but the matchups just don't really do it for me. And just, I don't know, it's just very, very weird. But as far as my card goes so far, I have, I think, 7 bets in right now. I may change them. I don't know yet. But I put them in right when lines were released because, well, when you're sick at home, there's not really much to do except research college football. So that's all I really did because I couldn't even talk. But one of the big ones, Northwestern, everyone's been against them all year. I'm taking them plus 3.5 against Purdue. I think Purdue is just a name at this point. I think Northwestern has proven that they can keep it close with just about any team in football. So that 3.5 point spread, I'm going to take those points for Northwestern. I'm taking Kansas State minus 7.5. I don't know why. Just have a good feeling this weekend about Kansas State. I think they're due for a big game. And I think that 7.5 points is going to be easily covered by them. I'm also taking the over 58.5, Florida, Mizzou. 2 pretty solid offenses with 2 lackluster defenses. It's just built for a high scoring matchup this weekend. And plus, as a Gator fan, I would love watching nothing more than a 60-point game from everyone. I'm taking Iowa State plus 7.5 against Texas. I know it's a little bit bolder, but Texas has been slowing down a little bit. They've been dropping slowly week by week. I think Iowa State definitely has a chance this weekend to prove them wrong. Get that 7.5 point spread covered and show the world Iowa State Cyclones are not to be fucked with. I also have Georgia minus 10 against Tennessee. Tennessee is trash. Let's keep how it is. Tennessee sucks and Georgia is rolling. They're the number 1 team in the planet for a reason. So a 10 point spread against Tennessee, it feels like a no-brainer to me. I don't know if it's a trap line, but it sure as hell feels like it because I am all in on it. And then this was the one I did on Bovada when lines were released. Auburn minus 20 against New Mexico State. New Mexico State has lost a lot of offensive weapons to injury this season. And now you have Auburn coming in. They're pretty much trying to big dick everyone. They're trying to prove that they still are relevant in the FBS. So I see Auburn taking this one in pretty easy fashion. And an argument could be made that the over will hit as well. And a potential one I'm thinking about is Oregon, Arizona State, the over in that game, 53.5. I haven't set my bet for it yet. I'm still teetering back and forth. But with Oregon at a spread of 24.5, we know that they put up, usually between 30 and 40 every week. So you cover that spread. I mean, it kind of makes sense to me that that's over would hit. But that's where I'm sitting right now. Still not completely sold on any of the cards. It's a really weird weekend for me with college football. I've got flu brain. It's just a tough look. But Holmes, I'll let you do your card now.
Yeah, man. I like a lot of those picks. Especially Iowa State plus 7.5. I think that's the right side there. Texas has been keeping it close with too many teams. And especially at Iowa State. I like Iowa State being at home in that matchup. So yeah, let's get to it. I have just 6 plays. Again, I'm trying to keep it short, sweet. Actually, no, scratch that. I have 7 plays. I had one that I forgot to add, but we'll get into it. Okay. Let me make sure I have the right thing pulled up here. All right, we'll start from noon slate and work our way down. Louisville at Miami. I'm going to take Miami on the money line in this game. I know we've been betting Louisville all year. They've been really, really nice to us. But this is literally a spot where this line made absolutely no sense. Louisville is, what are they ranked? Top 15 right now. They might be top 10. They're ranked number 10. Ranked number 10 in the college football playoff. I know they're going to Miami, but this game should not be a pick 'em. That makes zero sense. Louisville should be favored by at least a touchdown here, especially with a Miami team that has not been able to keep pace in the ACC like Louisville has. So I'm going to take Miami at home on the money line, minus 110. Another noon game. I'm going to take the over 64.5 in SMU and Memphis. Both of these teams put up so many damn points. It's crazy, especially SMU. SMU has just been running through their opponents lately. And Memphis is no slouch as well, especially at home. Memphis can put up some points. I do not see a lot of defense being played in this game. I'm going to go with the over 64.5 there for minus 115. This one's a little bit juicy at noon, but I'm going to take Ole Miss minus 20.5 first half at minus 144. I think they're playing University of Louisiana Monroe. Again, this is like a tune-up game for Ole Miss coming into rivalry week next week. I think they're definitely going to want to put up as many points as they can early, get some starters off the field, get some second string guys some playing time near the end of the game. So I like that number with the hook there. Make sure you can get it at 20.5 so that you have that opportunity to win with 21. At 3:30, I have 2. I'm going to take Clemson minus 6.5 at minus 115. I know I said last week that I cannot get Clemson right. So if you want to fade me on this, please do. Because I have no idea what's going to happen here. But this is a straight system play. UNC is a ranked team going to Clemson, an unranked team, and Clemson's favorite. Why? Doesn't make any sense. The books are literally begging you to take UNC plus 6.5 here. I'm just going to go the other way, strictly on principle here, and take Clemson minus 6.5. Also at 3:30, I am. Oh, Mondo, I thought you had this play, but you have the side on Georgia. I'm just going to take the over in that game, over 58.5. Georgia and Tennessee. I mean, I can see Georgia putting up at least 50 alone, and I don't really think Tennessee is going to put up just 7 points like they did last week at Missouri. I mean, they're at home. I think they got to put up at least 17-20 to try and hang in this game, but I definitely see Georgia pulling away here. So I like over 58.5 there for minus 110. And then 2 more plays later in the night at 7:00. I'm going to take Kansas State minus 9.5 at Kansas. Mondo, I'm with you. I think Kansas State can cover the spread here pretty easily. They've been rolling through teams this year, and I know this is kind of like a rivalry game before the rivalry week almost, but I don't really know about the Kansas quarterback situation. It's been really up and down with injuries so far this year. Kansas State has been a really good team. I think the spread should be even a little bigger. So I'm going to take Kansas State minus 9.5 there. And then I'm also going to take LSU minus 16.5 first half. They're playing Georgia State. Again, this is kind of the same reasoning with Ole Miss. LSU's offense is very high powered. Jaden Daniels in the Heisman discussion right now. I think they're going to want to put up a ton of points on a very poor Georgia State team as early as possible. Get their starters out, get some second string guys in there, get some playing time. So I like them to get I like them to cover 17 at the half. I think I have that at minus 140 right now. So a little juicy as well.
Nice. Yeah, what you got?
All right. I feel like I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for a couple of these picks, but this is a Gary gut feeling type weekend,
Let's do
and
it.
I mean, I fuck with the plays I have here. And also, bro, literally in the time that we started this podcast, I got accepted onto the Hard Rock Bet app.
No
I'm officially
shit.
off
Me
the list
too.
of
Let's go, baby.
That's funny
Dude.
as fuck.
No,
Let's
because
go.
literally
We're all
I,
here.
I like clicked one and I was like, let's see what happens. And then actually let me click it. So that was pretty big. All right. So I got Louisville plus 1.5 over Miami. I think Louisville is rolling, and I don't really think they're gonna stop at Miami. I think Miami is pretty mid, and the way they've been playing this year, like, shows that. So I'm taking Louisville plus 1.5. I'm taking Texas minus 7.5 over Iowa State. I don't really see a reason why they shouldn't cover this, even though they've been playing it close. Like, I feel like it's getting into that crunch time part of the season where teams really need to show up and show out. I'm taking Arizona minus a half over Utah. Fuck the Utes. When the Gators beat them a couple years ago, that was like the most amazing thing I ever saw. Even though I greened out in the first 10 minutes of the game, I did watch the last quarter when I woke up at home in my bed. And that was amazing. And then leads into my next favorite team. Well, this is my favorite team. Florida money line over Missouri. It is gonna happen. Trust, bro. Plus 325, great value. If you get the gut feeling like I do, you already know that we're gonna win tomorrow. We need to win tomorrow. We need to have at least bowl game potential. And also we need to get the hype train rolling before FSU because a lot of people here in the swamp are not believing in the Gators right now. And I feel like winning against the number 9 team in the nation tomorrow would be huge. Or not tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, it is tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. That'd be huge for us. Kentucky at South Carolina. I'm taking Kentucky plus 1.5. I just feel like Kentucky's been kind of getting done dirty the past couple weeks. I mean, they are not like a great team, but they're also not a bad team. And I think South Carolina is just outright mid. So I'm taking Kentucky plus 1.5. And then this one, I already know that I'm gonna get shit on for it, but this is the one that I think if it hits will make me the happiest. Tennessee plus 9.5 over
Oh
Georgia.
God, no way.
I know. No way. No way, Jose. Gary, you're cray, bro. I don't give a shit. Tennessee plus 9.5. This is the one that I'm really feeling. I feel like Tennessee playing at home, Rocky Top, bro. That's a crazy atmosphere to ball out in. And I don't know, bro. I just feel like somebody has to stop Georgia eventually. And I thought it was going to be the Gators. Of course, it wasn't. I mean, I was delusional to think that in the first place. But Tennessee, I feel like they're going to put up a fight tomorrow. So we're just going to have to wait and see. So yeah, that's my card.
Hell yeah. Well done, Gare.
Wow. Wow.
I'm proud
Before
of
we
you.
move on,
Proud of you.
before we move on from college football, I wanted to be able to do this last weekend. But I'm gonna just run through it this weekend real quick. On the Action app, this is where I get a lot of the information about who's betting the public side. So I'm gonna run through a couple of over unders spreads that people 90% or more of the money is on. If you want to fade these public plays, write them down, get on them, get them in before these numbers move. Because these could be, again, I am a very big proponent of fading the public. So if you want to do it here, I think there's a lot of games in college football that can provide that for you. I'm going to just run down and see if I can find anything. UNC Clemson, 95% of the people are on the over of 59.5 in that game. Let's see here. We got 93% of the people think Jacksonville State is going to cover minus 8.5 against Louisiana Tech. I mean, that one might actually be pretty decent because Louisiana Tech is buns. But again, just putting them out there in case you want to fade these, in case you want to look at going the other way on these, because so many people are on these. This was when I saw earlier today. 96% of the people are on under 37 in Nebraska and Wisconsin. That is one that I can definitely see taking the over in that game and some bullshit happening, and you can get to like 40 points, like a pick six, punt return, something crazy that's gonna screw all the underbetters there. Can totally see it. But 96% of the people on that under, that's really crazy. And then 90% of the people are on the over in San Diego State and San Jose State at 10:30. 48.5. I mean, that might make some sense because 48.5 is kind of low, but San Diego State also sucks. So can consider that if you want. Just a couple games, 90% or more of the money on certain sides. So
Can you tell me the odds for Tennessee, Georgia, if you have them?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I want to hear this.
84% of the people are on Georgia to cover -9.5, and 79% are on the under 58.5.
Oh boy. There you go, Gare.
Yeah, and I have literally all of this information for any sport you're looking forward to. Like if we go through the NFL slate and you want to know what the public is looking at this game, let me know. I can see it all on here. Basketball, hockey, college football, it's all on here. It's an easy way that I like to look at and be like, oh man, 90% of the people are on it. That could be a spot to take the other side.
All right. Speaking of NFL, let's get into the NFL slate. Then we'll wrap it up with some NBA picks, maybe some NHL picks, because your boy actually has some NBA picks tonight. So imagine that.
Let's go.
Start the 1 o'clock slate. We got Dolphins, Raiders. Dolphins are 4-0 at home. Raiders 1-4 on the road. That's all you need to know about this game. If you're like Garen, you like the favorites, Dolphins money line is looking prime. Dolphins favored by 13, over under 46.5. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if the Dolphins put up 46 by themselves. I definitely want to hammer the over for this game, and I also would like to hammer a Tyreek anytime touchdown. I think this dude it's hard to say he's due, but he's had a couple down weeks. Now's the time he steps it up. He's had some time to, recoup a little bit, get his legs back, and now he's ready to, put up maybe even a 200-yard game this weekend. I don't know. Holmes, what are you thinking for this game?
I'm with you on the over. 46.5. I mean, I think Miami can put up 40 by themselves, to be honest. And I mean, the Raiders offense, as much as everybody's been shitting on it, they've really been doing all they need to win. Josh Jacobs is starting to run the ball a lot more effectively. Aiden O'Connell's making some passes here and there. He is not, the most special quarterback in the world, but he's going to manage the game. He's going to just try and move the offense the best he can. I really just like how this team is literally galvanized under Antonio Pierce. I mean, it is a completely different vibe on that team, in that locker room, since Josh McDaniels was fired. I know we were just talking about the public and stuff, bro. 91% of people think Miami's going to cover the spread here. Like, I am very tempted to take the Raiders plus 13.5. I think they could cover. I think it's a very backdoor situation here. By no means do I think they can win this game, especially in Miami. But I can totally see a situation where Miami, runs up 28, 35 points first half, takes their foot off the gas a little bit second half. Maybe Vegas gets a backdoor cover, but I'll definitely be with you on the over. I see a lot of scoring going on.
Yeah.
Only play I'm going to take in this one is Miami minus 13.5. I mean, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like the Dolphins the past couple weeks, I don't want to say underperforming, but not doing as well as they could be. And I feel like playing against the Raiders is the perfect time to pull up and just kind of have like a scrimmage type game, because these motherfuckers don't stand a chance, in my opinion. So I'm going to take Miami minus 13.5 for this one.
All right.
Nice.
On to the next game at the 1 o'clock window. Cowboys at Panthers. Neither team has a good record at home/away. Cowboys 2-3 on the road. Panthers 1-3 at home. Dallas is favored by 10.5, over under sit at 42.5. I'm going to be honest. I really don't like this game at all. I feel like this is a massive trap opportunity. The Cowboys just always seem to underperform on the road. They cannot, I don't know what it is. They can't piece it together. I think Tony Pollard's due for a touchdown, but other than that, I'm staying pretty far away from this game. Gary, how are you feeling about it?
The Panthers. The Panthers did me right the one time that I did bet on them. But against Dallas, I don't know. As much as I hate the Cowboys, I don't know. I'm gonna take Carolina plus 10.5. That's what's looking good. That's what's looking appealing to me. This is not anything based on fact or fiction. Well, mostly fiction, but I think Carolina plus 10.5 is nice, bro. I feel like, Dallas is kind of one of those teams where like they kind of remind me of the Bills a little bit in the fact where like they excuse me, if they play against a shitter, they kind of play shitty. So I'm gonna take Carolina plus 10.5 here. And I'm also gonna take under 42 or under 41.5. I feel like that'll hit too.
All right. Holmes?
I'm probably going to go the other way. I think the Cowboys will cover here, and it's just because Dak Prescott has been playing out of his mind the past few weeks. He is actually, I think, starting to hit his stride with the offense a little bit. I don't know if I'll take the Cowboy side officially. I mean, I think they'll win this game, but I'll probably look at some props. I like CeeDee Lamb to go over 83.5 receiving yards. He's had 3 straight games of over 150. I mean, he's obviously Dak's favorite target. He's getting the ball so much more than he was at the beginning of the season. And I might consider Dak passing yards as well, 260.5. I might do a little more number crunching on that and a little more research, but yeah, I would definitely, I think, target that CD play just a little bit more.
Okay. Steelers Browns. This is going to be an absolutely horrible game. Aside from the fact it's an AFC North matchup, I don't like it at all. Cleveland's favored by 1.5, over under set at 32.5 for very good reasons. I guys, I don't know about you. I just don't really care for this game. I think your best bet is honestly a defensive touchdown by the Steelers. Straight up. The Browns have nobody on offense now aside from Amari Cooper. I don't see anyone putting together any sort of impressive plays. I just think it's just going to be a battle of who's the worst team. Holmes, what about you?
Yeah, honestly, this side to me screams Cleveland money line. They're minus 120. I'm sure they're favored probably because they're at home. It definitely shouldn't be because of the quarterback situation. I don't know what they're going to do at the quarterback situation, but I feel like this is literally a situation where they're just favored because they are home. I think Pittsburgh is the better team as much as they have not showed it at all this year. I don't know. I'm gonna just I think I have to roll with Cleveland on the money line here in just a stupid, low scoring, awful game that they're gonna win by like 2 points.
Yep. Gare?
I like Pittsburgh plus 1.5. Like Mondo was saying, Cleveland doesn't really have shit going on offense. Deshaun Watson's back in the massage parlors trying to fix his shoulder up. I pray for anybody who has to do anything with that man. If you do get touched, seek retributions. But yeah, I'm taking Pittsburgh plus 1.5 for this one.
All right. Let's get into the next game. NFC North matchup. Bears at Lions. Bears 1-4 on the road. Lions 3-1 at home. Detroit is favored by 7.5. Over under set at 47.5. I am very confident Detroit covers this spread with ease. They have been balling. They now have 2 feature running backs that absolutely dominate the turf each time they step on the field, plus a superstar wide receiver and a QB that's on pace for an MVP season. All of that equals they will cover that 7.5 point spread with ease. So that's where I'm sitting. Probably an anytime touchdown for David Montgomery, just because he's on my fantasy team and I want the two to finally match up. probably won't ever work out, but we'll see what happens. Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is like another one of those games where it's just a scrimmage for Detroit. So I'm gonna take them minus 7.5. I'm gonna take a Jameer Gibbs anytime tutty. I feel like he's been balling out, and I feel like it's awesome that he's kind of had the chance to like get in the spotlight since Montgomery was out for a couple weeks. So I'm gonna take him to get a tutty.
Holmes?
Yeah, I think I got to ride with the Lions here too. I don't think there's any way I can put $1 of my money on the Bears and feel confident about it. So, for that reason, also there at home, also they're a good team. I will take the Lions.
All right. On to the next matchup, Chargers at Packers. I already put in a bet for this game.
Nice.
Chargers are favored only by 3. The Packers are absolutely cheeks this season. Chargers are going to cover that. Over under set at 43.5. Justin Herbert, he's the first half MVP of the season. If he's in the first half of a game, you know he's going to ball. Take that first half over by the Chargers. On top of that, Keenan Allen's going to have himself a 100-yard day, probably 10 plus completions. That's just the caliber of player he is. And Eckler's going to have himself a day. I think the Packers have a lot of big issues in their offense. They don't know who is going to get the ball. That's a very big problem, especially with a rookie QB. Not technically a rookie, but kind of a rookie. But that is a very big problem. You need to know who your real weapons are. And Aaron Jones is supposed to be that guy. The only problem is he's been hurt. Now you got AJ Dillon who's in that rotation. He's not very good. Your receivers are mid at best. You don't have anyone worth a damn at tight end. So this is all just setting up for that Chargers to easily cover that 3-point spread. Holmes, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm probably leaning toward them covering the full game as well. I like what you've been talking about the first half. Justin Herbert absolutely balls in the first half, and for some reason they fall apart as a team in the second half almost every single time. It is so uncanny. So I will think about trying to take the Chargers minus 1.5 at the first half or minus 115. I don't really love the minus 1.5 number, but the first half winner, the Chargers are minus 150 on that. I don't know if I want to lay the juice on that. But I will definitely look into those lines come Sunday because I'll probably end up taking the Chargers something in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, this game just sucks. I'm gonna take Chargers minus 3.5. I feel like that's plus money, plus 105, and that's easy money. So I'm gonna take Chargers minus 3.5.
All right. Next game we got, I really don't think we need to talk about it that much. Giants at Commanders. Show of hands for who wants to skip it.
What a poop bowl, dude.
We got 2. Gary, you want to talk about it?
Under 37.5.
There you go. That's the only thing you need to know. This is going to be absolutely horrendous to watch. I do not recommend it. It is not worth your time. On to the next game. Titans at Jaguars. Shockingly. You okay there, Holmes?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm just trying to light some incense out here because it is freaking buggy.
All right. Shockingly, tickets are currently $28 for this game. The Jags are 6-3. It's pretty funny to me. I don't know. They're favored by 7, over under set at 39.5. Titans, as we said before, 0-5 on the road. This is an easy lock for the Jags. This is about to be 0-6. That's all you really need to know. It's kind of the same situation with the Packers. They don't really know who to give the ball to. Usually it's Derrick Henry, and for some reason they've been staying away from that all year. I really don't understand why. It makes no sense to me, but here we are at this point in the season, just trying to wrap our heads around the fact that Derrick Henry just isn't that guy anymore. And I hate to say that because I absolutely love him. But I really don't have a pick for this yet. I'm going to wait until Sunday morning probably to put something out there. Garrett, what you thinking for this game?
Not a lot.
Okay.
I like Jacksonville minus 6.5.
All right. Attaboy.
Yeah, I'm with Garrett. Honestly, like Jacksonville minus 6.5. This kind of seems like a classic bounce back spot for the Jags. getting absolutely walloped last week against San Fran. Coming back home, you got to get right here. You got to get right, especially against a Tennessee team that we just said is awful on the road. You can see my incense smoke. Yeah, dude, there is no way I can bet on the Titans away from home right now the way that they've been playing. I think you got a bounce back spot for the Jags here. So take a -6.5 before that number moves.
Hell yeah, brother. Another game, we can vote on it if we want. Cardinals at Texans. We know the Texans have been balling this year. CJ Stroud's an absolute elite football player. Houston's favored by 6, over under 47.5. I do think this is low-key a trap game. Kyler Murray is back. He knows how to battle. He knows how to fight, claw. That's just who he is. So I'm still not determined on this game yet. I do think Houston's still going to cover, but I don't know. I got to see what Kyler Murray's thinking right now. I got to see how he's been playing. Go back and watch some film, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a weird game. I don't know if I really want to bet on a side here. In terms of anytime touchdowns, though, I think there's a couple that are worth a sprinkle. Tank Dell is +750. He has been playing so well, easily becoming CJ Stroud's favorite target. And this is a little bit crazy, but Trey McBride +1,300. I think that is insane value. Kyler Murray showed last week in the first week back that he had an instant connection with Trey McBride. The young tight end is so versatile. He is, I think, going to be a young cornerstone piece for that Arizona team. So I like him and Kyler to keep building chemistry. Maybe get him in the end zone this week. I think that prop is definitely worth a sprinkle.
Gare got nothing. All right. On to the afternoon slate. First one of the day, Bucks at Niners. I think it's going to be honestly a pretty good game. The Bucks are deceptive. I think that they can score a lot of points when they need to. 49ers are favored by 12, over under 41.5. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you exactly what I'm betting. Christian McCaffrey, he let me down last week. I was very upset. I was in the trenches. Ended up going 1-3 in my anytime touchdowns. It's 2 weeks in a row I've been struggling. That man was supposed to be my rock. He fell through for me, but guess what? We hop right back on that wagon. We get back to it. Anytime touchdown for CMC this weekend. That is a goddamn guarantee. So we're going to get right back on that horse, and we're going to ride that bitch into the sunset. You heard? Gare, what you thinking?
I hate this, bro. This is the one weekend that I'm scared. Because Tampa Bay is like one of those dark horse ass teams where like they'll lose to an absolute shitter and then put up a fight to a great team. And I think this is going to be one of those games where we put up a fight and we come out on top. That's just, my fandom talking, but I'm taking Tampa Bay money line +500.
Yeah, that's a lot of value.
Fuck the Niners. Vita Vea is not letting that shit slide up the gap. You could try to run it with CMC, Vita Vea, and having it. Just know that motherfucking rat tail is on fire and it is not letting shit slide, bro.
Yo, if you're watching this, make sure to clip that for when we come back next week and he's calling for Bull's head. I want you to clip that.
Honestly.
+500. Take it.
Crazy. I am not going to touch a side in this one. I am probably going to end up taking Rachaad White over 75.5 rushing plus receiving yards. I know the rushing hasn't really been there for him so far this year, but that's why I want to take his receiving yards as well because he's been very good in that department. And I think he's going to get used a lot with this defense bearing down on Baker Mayfield. I feel like he's going to have to dump it off a lot to Rachaad White and utilize him quite a bit during this game. So I am going to probably be on that for Rachaad White. And then another long shot here, if you're thinking about a prop in this game, Antoine Winfield has been playing very, very well for the Bucs on defense. I think he's the team leader in forced fumbles. I think he's gotten a pick or two so far this season, but I have a feeling that he is going to pick off Brock Purdy this game. He is +900 for Antoine Winfield to specifically get a pick. I think that is totally worth a sprinkle with the way he's playing. He's a safety, so it's not like he's a cornerback that has to get targeted really for him to get the interception. I think he has a better chance than most cornerbacks on most plays being a safety. So I would take that. And if you are going to take that, it's obviously worth taking Brock Purdy over 0.5 interceptions as well. That's also plus money, I think, at plus 125. So if you're going to think about sprinkling on that and you think Brock Purdy will throw a pick, definitely bet on that too, because you got plus money value there.
If there's one thing you've learned today, Holmes is a huge sprinkle guy. If you see him in public, give him some ice cream with a little sprinklage on it. You know he'll
Come on
like
now.
that.
Come on now.
On to a New York matchup. Jets at Bills. Bills 4-2 at home. Jets 2-2 on the road. Buffalo's favored by 7 over under 39.5. I think it's going to be a turnover game. I'm taking the plus 2.5, or I guess over 2.5 turnovers. No, hold on. What was it? Over 2.5 interceptions from both quarterbacks combined. That makes sense. Did we get that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Very similar to last week, except I took the under last week. This week we're taking the over. Josh Allen, he leads the league in turnovers with 11 interceptions, a handful of fumbles as well. On the other side, you got Zach Wilson, the MILF Hunter. All he does is fuck moms and turn the ball over. So I think that's a pretty safe bet. I also think Stephon Diggs is due for a touchdown this game. He's been very quiet lately. He is definitely due for this turnaround time. Holmes, what you thinking?
Yeah, I like the turnover component. I think over 2.5 is a pretty good play here. I am probably leaning toward taking the over in this game. 93% of the money is on under 39.5 here. And I mean, as well as the Jets defense has been playing and as poor as the Jets offense has been playing, I can see this as just a weird spot where, again, like they might score combined 41, 42, just barely nip the over. And all those people that bet the under are going to be really, really pissed. So I can just see, again, some funky shit happen. Like you said, with the turnovers, maybe one of them's a pick six, maybe one of them's a scoop and score. That inflates the total instantly. So having something like that would definitely help us out. But yeah, I'm definitely going to lean toward a fade the public play with the over on this one.
Gary?
Um, Nothing really looks appealing to me in this game, but I just got a random thought in my head. I'm gonna take Josh Allen under interceptions this game. I feel like if this man keeps throwing picks, he's dead ass gonna get shot by Bills Mafia. Because after watching that last game, which was insane, shout out to my gut for hitting me with those ones. But bro, it was tough to watch. I really felt bad for the man. Because you could see he was like he's not like a guy that doesn't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like he definitely cares about his team and his community, and I feel like he's got to tighten up because really the only thing that announcers are talking about now is how many picks he throws. So I'm gonna take his under interceptions for this game.
Okay. On to the last of the afternoon slate. Seahawks at Rams. Seahawks favored by a half a point. Over under 46.5. I'll be honest, I don't like this game so far. It's very up in the air. If I had to take a pick, taking the Seahawks money line because there's no point in taking a spread. Over under at 46.5. I'll probably take the under there. Neither offense has been prolific this year. Puka's only had 2 touchdowns despite how good he's been. I think Cooper Kupp also has 2. So with Williams on the IL or IR, I think it's going to be an under game. That's just way too high of a total for this one. So, Holmes, what you thinking?
I think this is the trap game of the week. Right now on Hard Rock, this game is a pick 'em. Seahawks are 6-3. They're winning games. The Rams quarterback situation is up in the air. I don't think anybody can tell me what the actual quarterback situation is right now for the Rams. They're 3-6 in garbage. I think that this game should not be a pick 'em. Seahawks should be favored by at least 3 here. I think I'm going to have to ride with the Rams on the money line, minus 110 here.
All right. See you on the other side.
Let's do it.
Gary?
Cooper Cup touchdown. I need it, or else I'm gonna blow my brains out because Mondo absolutely fucked me over with the
He
trade.
says this
Yeah.
every week.
And so I need
Dynasty League.
Oh my god. Every week, dude, if he
my
doesn't
ears
score.
started ringing because I know you're thinking that I'm right. Um, and I'm gonna take the Rams to win this game outright. For the same reason Hart was saying, bro, like the plus half, minus half bullshit. You got to pick a side and you got to get with it or get out of it. So I'm taking the Rams.
Nice.
Yeah, money line, I guess. Fuck it, why not? So yeah, Cooper Cup Tutty, Rams money line. Cash that.
2-on-1 battle here. Let's get it. On to the primetime game, Sunday night football. Vikings at Broncos. Broncos favored by 2.5, over under 42.5. Ladies and gentlemen, I have my play of the year. It is this game, Vikings plus 2.5. I don't know why they aren't favored here. They are 4-1 on the road. The Broncos are 2-3 at home. The whole shtick with Kirk Cousins not being a primetime player, guess what? He's not playing this game. On top of that, Justin Jefferson could be playing this game, joining back to an offense that has been absolutely electric without him. I don't understand how the Broncos are favored at all. This is my play of the year. I am all in on this game. I am dropping units on units on units on this game. Vikings are going to take this. I may even switch it to the money line, but as of now, it's at least Vikings plus 2.5. That's where I'm sitting. Join me in the play of the year. If you go against me, you're an asshole and we have beef. Thank you. Gary.
Yeah, bro, this is crazy to me. I'm not taking Denver this week. I got lucky with them last week, and that's enough luck for me. So I'm gonna take Minnesota money line. I mean, plus 110, that's plus money, bro. Like, you are tripping shit if you do not take plus 110. Well, actually, I can't even say that, bro. Like, you do you, boo, but like, I'm just saying Minnesota plus 110, bro. You gotta play with us here, bro. Come on. But the over under here, I'm not gonna touch that, honestly. I mean, Russell balled out last week, good for him. But can he do it 2 consecutive weeks in a row? I'm not too sure. So for this game, I'm just gonna stick with Minnesota plus 110. And I suggest that if you're seeing this now, you hop on it ASAP because the minute that somebody says Jetta's coming back, these lines are gonna shift, I think. So hop on that shit.
Holmes?
Yeah, I think you have to take the Vikings money line here. I think if Denver had not gone on the little winning streak that they've been on in the past few games and they haven't beaten both the Chiefs and the Bills, I don't think that they would be favored in this game. I think it's a lot of recency bias going on with Denver and the fact that they're home, but I still think the Vikings are the right side here. You can look at this and think it's a trap, but I really don't think that that's the case. I think Denver is literally favored because A, they're at home, B, they've beaten some good teams recently. So again, I think the books put a little recency bias in there. I think they think eventually Josh Dobbs is going to come back down to earth, but I'm not betting against that man until he does. Like, that guy continues to prove he is an absolute baller. So why would you not try to make money with him right now?
Mm-hmm. All right. On to Monday Night Football, easily the biggest matchup of the year, the Kelsey Bowl. It's back again for round 2, the reunion tour. Eagles 8-1, 4-1 on the road. Chiefs 7-2, 4-1 at home. It's going to be an absolute masterclass out of both teams. Kansas City is favored by 2.5, over under 45.5. I'm going to tell you right now, the Eagles are going to cover that. I'm telling you, Eagles plus 2.5. I am taking the Kelsey over on receiving yards because I know damn well Taylor Swift will be in attendance for this game. There is no shots he misses. It is a lock. Kelsey's gonna ball the fuck out. So those are the only bets I'm taking. I love it. I am all for this game. I am so excited to watch it. Holmes, what are your thoughts on the Kelsey reunion?
Oh, dude, I think it's going to be crazy for sure. I'll probably end up locking in Kelsey for an anytime score, but it is at minus 125, so I don't really love that. Probably going to have to take the receiving yards there for him as well. I will likely lean toward the over 45.5 just because that Super Bowl lives rent free in my head, There was like 80 combined points
Mm.
scored in that game. I think I would be a fool to think that anything would be different this time around. So I will probably stick with the over 45.5 there.
Gear.
Oh,
I'm actually excited for a Monday night game, and it's crazy that I can say that because I feel like I haven't said that in forever. And I'm gonna take Philly plus 125. I like the revenge arc here. I mean, I honestly think the Eagles are a better team than the Chiefs this year, just straight up. Not based off record, but I mean, the record shows, yes, but I feel like just based off player performance, like Jalen Hurts has just been on fire. Like, man, he wants the Super Bowl, and you can tell,
Mm.
bro. Like, the minute that first snap is snapped, he is locked the fuck in, like, which I love. So I'm gonna take them plus 125. I'm also gonna go with Hart because the NFL is gonna be, tapping Mahomes on the shoulder, being like, "Hey, your girlfriend's in the stands, your girlfriend's in the stands," and he's gonna have to throw the ball to Kelsey, to make the Swifties happy. So Kelsey anytime tutty, but Philly plus 125 for the money line.
Yeah. And aside from that, Falcons, Colts, Patriots, and Saints all have bye weeks. Thank fucking God no one wanted to watch them play. So we are very happy with that. Normally I do the outro here, but today I actually have some picks for the NBA. Holmes, I'm pretty sure you have stuff too. But here we go. My first real NFL's or NBA kind of slate. I know I do a couple picks here and there, but this is it. This is where we get into it. Cade Cunningham, over 20.5 points. This dude is a superstar in the making. He is going to ball the fuck out tonight. My phone just closed. Okay. What just happened? I lost it. It's all right. We're good. Okay, we got it. Clint Capella against the Sixers, more than 16.5 points plus rebounds. He's going to have a tough matchup tonight with Embiid, but guess what? Does not matter. He's going to be crashing the boards. He's going to be putting up his shots close range. It's what he does. We also have Wemby over 18.5 points against Sacramento. I know they have Sabonis at the power forward, but there is no one down low that's going to match up to Victor Wembanyama. So over the 18.5 there. Aaron Gordon, I know people are very low on him this year. I'm taking the over 26.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. I feel like it's a very even margin, literally 7 across the board. A little bit more than that. Math doesn't add up there. 8, we'll do 8 across the board. No. 9 across the board. That's the number. 9 across the board. That's all he has to do to hit it. Again, flu brain. I'm struggling, but we're out here. Azur Thompson or Asar. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. This dude has been an absolutely machine this year. He's facing Cleveland tonight. I think he's gonna ball out. He looks like a great player. I don't follow the NBA that closely, but this kid can ball. Next, we have a guy that I didn't even know existed. I just found out him today. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but I'm taking a bet just because. Give me Goga Badatsi. Over 16.5 points plus rebounds. This dude's name is electric, which means he's going to hit this bet tonight. I guarantee it. I think this card is elite, and I'm so excited to watch it hit. Holmes, what are your picks for tonight?
Dude, I kind of want to tail what you got here, but like, what do you feel most confident in? What do you like out of these 6 props here?
Out of the 6 of them,
Like, what's your favorite?
I'm rocking with the Wemby over 18.5 and probably the Aaron Gordon over 26.5.
All right.
And probably the Thompson over 12.5. I think those are the 3 that I'm most confident in. But I
Okay.
truthfully, I'm confident in all these picks,
Fair. I
especially
love it.
Goga. Goga's electric.
Bro,
He's
good
now my
shit.
new favorite player.
That's what I like to hear. Be confident in your picks. All of them does not matter.
Nazi.
I love
What
it.
a fucking name. I don't even
Nazi.
know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's his
No,
now. That's how we say it now.
What you
no
said?
clue. Literally no clue.
It's Goga Badadzi.
Oh, Badazzi.
Yeah, I don't know. This kid looks electric.
Yeah, one basketball play.
But hey, we'll see what happens. I don't normally do NBA picks, but maybe I have a new passion.
It could be big. It could be big.
Holmes?
Tonight, honestly, I actually just have one pick. I am gonna go with the Wizards plus 7.5 tonight. Last I checked, 91% of the money was on the Knicks tonight. So if you've been following me throughout the NBA, we like to take these fade the public picks in the NBA with 90% of the money on one side. I know the Wizards are literally god awful, but they're at home tonight. And I think if there is any team that they can cover against, it is the New York Knicks. So I'm going to go plus 7.5 there. I might end up tailing one or two of Mondo'S plays there because I actually love those props for sure. Nothing tonight in Shell. I know there's 2 games tonight. If I were to lean anyway, I might lean Anaheim on the money line tonight at home against Florida, but that's still a tough game. Florida's been looking really, really good lately. But the Ducks have been a much better team than a lot of people have thought this season. So Buffalo, Winnipeg, leaning toward the over of 6.5 in that game. But only thing official I'm going to make is the Wizards plus 7.5 on the court tonight.
Hell yeah, brother. Gary, you got anything?
I do have one basketball pick.
All right.
Nice.
And today is the official start of FSU Hate 2 weekend. The fortnight.
Just give your pick, bro.
Yeah. I'm picking Florida minus 8.5 over FSU tonight. Big basketball game here in the swamp. Currently Florida for the money line is favored minus 400. And I think this is the perfect place we could start the FSU hate. So I'm taking Florida minus 8.5 for this game.
All right. All 3 of us, bro. All 3 of us with basketball picks. How about that?
Yeah, come loaded with basketball. It's going to be a good season. We can find value this year. And eventually you fuckers are going to get into Chell with me.
We'll see. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, it's hard.
But
it's hard.
The Kraken.
Crackheads unite.
Kraken. Like smoking crack.
No, Kraken. Krakens.
We have a group chat called the Crack House. It's all the
I
Kraken.
feel like I'm in that one.
Crack.
I forget. Yeah, who is in there? I know I found it, but it's like everyone who doesn't care about hockey at all, but decided to ride with me on the Kraken, and now we're here. So
Fire.
let me pull it up real quick. So it's me, Brad, Dan, Smeege, Gary, Rothenberg, Jess, Bischoff, Lip, Larson, and Greg.
Real squad, dude.
This is a fire combo here.
Real squad.
It's electric. We have a formal friendship or truce with the Florida Panthers, so I'm sorry if you don't like that, but we are in a truce with them. Aside from that, that's going to do it for this episode. I am going to make sure I edit the unreleased footage of the sick episode. Gary, just make sure you send that my way, and I will put it out sometime next week just so you guys can at least see what was going on. But with that said, we'll see you guys on the next episode. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. Tail our picks, fade our picks, do whatever you want with them, but we are giving you great picks this season. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.